Hi all, I'm Ryan, welcome back to my garage. So this week is going to be a bits a week, bits of this and bits of that. I'm being held up. I haven't received the gasket set I need to continue building the engine on the Scrambler. I haven't received the decals yet to fit to the Superdream. So I'm going to do some jobs in preparation before I receive those bits. So let me show you what I do intend to get done this weekend. So my challenge on this engine is, I've just said, I've ordered the full gasket set, it's not here yet. There's a bolt in the back of this clutch mechanism, which is actually another one of these, that I need a tool to tighten. And I don't have that. So what I have done is I took the bolt, I went down to my local DIY store, and I tried offering up sockets, which I thought potentially could be modified to fit. So that to me looks to be about the right diameter. So what I'm intending to do is to take this as a template, mark up some of this socket to cut out and remove, hopefully leaving the 4 prongs that will then allow me to use it on that. So that's my aim for today, is to modify this to fit that. So my first challenge is when I tried to mark directly onto the socket, the pen just wasn't visible. So I've put some tape around it so I can write on the tape. That should make things a lot easier. Okay, so that's marked up the bits I need to remove. And I'm thinking angle grinder. I think angle grinder. Do I do cutting disc? Maybe cutting disc initially and then just grind it away in the middle. Although, what's the point? I'll just try grinding it straight away. Let's get the grinder out. Okay, so I was finding that particularly difficult because what's happening is as I'm trying to grind this, it's jumping around no matter how hard I'm trying to hold it. And I don't think it's making a precise enough grind. So I'm going to go back to the cutting disc and try and cut down each of these. I think that's probably the way to start, and then I'll maybe go to the grinder. So yeah, maybe it's just me being stupid, but I'm going to try that. I'm going to go back to the cutting disc first, then the grinder. Yeah, that's allowing me to make much more precise cuts. Good. Okay, so with my newfound precision, which isn't great, but I'm going to try now to cut across that line there. So if I put it in sideways and cut down, if I go gentle and careful, in theory I can cut between that and that. Let's try. Okay, so yes, but I couldn't go the full depth without beginning to damage the lugs. But that's a good start, so let me see if I can break that off now. Well, hey. That worked alright. Let's try that again. I don't mind admitting that angle grinder scares me, but I think I'm getting better. Looks like, oh, so I've just nicked into that one slightly, and that one, but all in all, that seems okay. Is it going to fit? Oh, look at that. First trial. Okay. I am happy with that. But that fits this, which was the stunt double. That's the damaged old one. The question is, does it actually work in practice in situ? And that looks to me, that fits. Yep, that looks like it's going to do the job. So now all I need to do is work out how to lock the basket and then get the correct torque on it. But no, I am happy with that. Until it doesn't work, then I won't be happy. Cool. Well, I'm not going to do that now. I'm now going to move on to the next job, which is on the Superdream, because I haven't got the gasket set for this, so I can't complete it anyway today. Well, next thing on my agenda is, can I fit the turn signals, indicators? So I've got a set of fronts that I originally thought were rears. Oh well, long story there. However, so I've got a set. Each of them has got a single wire coming out, so the earth must be through that bolting point there. So I need to check that. I need to make sure they actually light up, give them a little clean. So I'll find a power source and check that each one of them lights. And then I've got a set of these little brackets here, which insert in there somehow and presumably bolt through. So that's what I've got. However, what I don't have is where they actually wire into. There must be some connections up inside that light somewhere, but I've not found them yet. So let's open that up, do some exploring, see if we can find where they wire to. Then I can worry about wiring them up. Right, when you take time studying this, it's obvious. So this one here says it should be a black cable at the indicator. Well, it is black, but if you follow this wire all the way back here and all and all the way up here, and then you take it in there, and that little bit of cable there doesn't tell you what colour it is. But if you come down to this connection and move across, it says that coming into this socket is orange. And if you look at the physical bike, oh look, there's an orange end connector. And if you do exactly the same with this one, you've got black comes in down here, it says it joins there, that's not mentioned, but if you take this wire here and you follow this wire over and keep following it, it says light blue. And that'll be that one there then. Why on earth they didn't just make that orange and that light blue, I have no bloody idea. I guess it was cheaper to just do these with straight black cables. Okay, they could have labelled it easier as well. So there's my left and right indicators. They were there staring at me all the time, I just didn't realise it. Let's try testing that then. Okay, so I've got my two wires sorted out for the left and right indicator. I know it bolts on here. I've got my indicator. What more could possibly go wrong? Well, these brackets that I've got, they don't seem to fit inside the indicator. I can get them to partially go in, but if I force that anymore, that's just going to break it. And that needs to go a lot further back. In fact, it's got to be that way up, isn't it? Because there's the thread at the top. But, I mean, there's no way that is going all the way inside that indicator. And then even if I did get it all the way inside the indicator, these bolts with the standoffs that I've got, they cannot be right because they physically don't go through that hole. Oh, hold on. Hold on a minute. Just noticed live on camera, that's threaded. Well, if that's threaded, well, maybe that's my answer. Maybe these brackets are just not necessary. Ah, let me continue to experiment. Well, that's just bolted straight on, which means that these brackets, they must have been for the rears. So I think I was supplied a front indicator and a rear bracket. Okay, well, don't get me wrong, I'm still incredibly grateful for the donations I received, but I think that was my confusion. Alright, let me see if I can get them finished off. There's the end result. A couple of front indicators. There we go. One side, the other. Turning signals working. Rear one flashing, and rear one flashing. Cool. Big working set of indicators all around. Could really do with my bike being working properly this week. I'm going to switch to change the spark plugs on that. And the first challenge I have is that the plugs for this bike are bloody tiny. So I'm going to need to find a spanner to actually fit them before I go any further. Okay. And sometime later, there we are. Apparently it's a 10mm, so I needed to go and get a 10mm spark plug spanner, and I now have one. Okay, let's carry on. So then of course I immediately start work on the bike. I then remember, oh yeah, the bike's got a toolkit. Never thought about that. The toolkit, of course, contained the right size plug spanner. So I didn't need to mess about and go and get one before I started. Okay. So there's the instructions in the book for changing the spark plug, which is reasonably involved. So I need to remove the a cover, the right cowling. I need to move some clips, move some harnesses. So let's see if I can follow these instructions, because they look not straightforward at the moment, but let's see, take them one step at a time. Okay, the first thing it tells me to do is remove this bolt here. The next thing it tells me to do is to remove those two clips there and there. Now I've reached a sticking point because I've undone that and this, which makes this cowling really quite loose, but it's not going to come away yet, and there's several reasons for that. One of which is that there's a screw located up inside there that's holding it in place, and this isn't telling me to undo that screw, but I think I'm going to have to. I don't see a problem with removing that, so I'm going to undo that screw and see what that then reveals, because it's talking about removing a wiring harness cover from here, but I don't know what it's talking about. I can't, there is no wiring harness cover here that I can see. Okay, I'm going to take that screw out. So removing that other screw at the front allowed me to remove the whole side cowling. So that's away. I have no idea what wiring cover it was talking about up here, but that looks to me like I'm going to have to move this tank out of the way, because, you know, the tops of the cylinders, one's there, or maybe this is the cover they're talking about. There's the top of one spark plug there. I can't see the top of the other one though. We'll keep reading, but it's not looking very much like, I don't know, it just looks so cramped. I must have to move this tank. It doesn't say it, but logic tells me I'm going to have to. This must have been what they were talking about being the wiring harness cover, because it's just undone one bolt, it just comes out of there, and there's a whole load of cabling behind there. So that must be what they're referring to, which now means the only thing stopping me from getting access to that spark plug is this cover here. which looks like it should just on-bolt. So, let me have a look at that. Yeah, I've undone that bolt there. This lifts out the way, and that, I think, gives me enough clearance to get to that spark plug. Not simple, but I think I'm there, so let me try and get that out. And it's out. Doesn't look too bad on the tip, but I don't know when it was last changed. I couldn't see that on the history. So let's put some new ones in. So I've just had a momentary concern. So the spark plugs here, originally CPR8EA9, which is precisely what the ones that have just come out are. But I bought these ones, having looked up for my bike, and they are CR8EIX. And I thought, are they right? But according to the NGK website, it shows that there's the originals for my bike, and if we scroll across, that's now the upgrades. So yes, that is correct. Good. At least the other side is straightforward. It's just there. So that one is a very straightforward change. Good. Okay, that's the spark plugs changed. Let's see if she wants to play. Test ride time. Just got back from a nice run on the Transalp and it's running beautifully again. So it was always running, but at low revs it was just hesitating and it wasn't smooth. It's got the smoothness back, it's got all of its power. I'm very happy with that. So that's done. Excuse me. That's me out of time though for this weekend. So please like, subscribe to this channel, any comments and suggestions, and hopefully in the next day or two I'll actually receive all the decals and gasket sets so I can get on with the rest of the jobs. Cheers, bye for now.